Sorry, just checking the sound. I'm Zahra Jawad.
Sorry, just checking the sound.
Okay, the music is not coming out of this video. Uh, I just went to a healer online and I feel that I was gaslighted. Australian, she claims to be a healer and a therapist. Let's see if is this is the sound coming?
If, is the sound coming?
Is the sound coming now?
Is the sound coming now?
Okay, both ways the sound is coming. So
Both ways the sound is coming.
okay, there are a lot of things.
Okay, there are
A lot of things I need to talk about tonight. And so I went on this Australian healer, now another one. So she responded to what she was saying. So, like everyone in the live chat, if they have many people, there are many comments going on, and whether we agree to what she's saying. So, if you don't agree, keep your mouth shut. Don't say anything. I would be like that, right? But if you agree, then, but a time came when I said, no, no, you have to raise your voice. If you don't agree, say to the person on the face you don't agree with them. Instead of, bottling it and eating yourself up from inside. So, this healer, what she does is she gives a lecture and it's time bound, like it's limited, and then she does the healing after her lecture. She talks. So I thought that this lady was so great that when I agreed to what, and I said, let me give her a comment, like, afterwards on the live chat, not a comment later on. But I said, I agreed to what she was saying. And I said, yes, like this. And then uh, so I thought, participating, like if others in the group here on the live chat see that she's giving, she didn't give the impression in the beginning that and she then should not even look at the comments or anything, and respond to the comments. If we agree to her and we comment there, yes, right, like this. So the reason why I brought out my personal thing later was that no, I had this problem. You're saying this, but if she's a healer and if I feel that her lecture would not even help me, let alone her healing, right? Because I said, well, I disagree with, but I didn't say it like I disagree, but I said that with me, I was open to messages from God and angels and all this, right? What I meant. So I felt she started to say that to me that I'm asking personal questions. Okay, so I need, if you want, I can give you, because I feel you have a problem, a stronger problem or something, and you can, you know, contact me personally later on, because this healing is for group. But the way she said it was that I'm taking all the attention away and this will not help the group people that are there. I thought if she was actually encouraging this, then, the other people will also be encouraged and not scared of her. And a little bit of delay can happen in the healing session afterwards. But if you can't, like she's saying that you should be open to God's messages and all this. Well, when I was open to it, something went wrong. So she said, well, then contact me, but also like this is a group healing and we cannot. So if, she wants me to contact her personally. And the way she said it, I felt like later on, a little bit of attention I gave. Later on, I retracted. I thanked her and felt she was God sent and all this, but she was not God sent. So I felt she gaslighted me. So I think healers better that you come there and for question and answer session also give time to those who are confused, who want to ask you questions about something, and when you are responding to them, then if something personal comes up and you don't like it and it's for group healing, you don't have to say it. Just keep your mouth shut. Then you're not a good healer, are you? Not a true, honest healer. You're a gaslighter. Group healing. As if I wanted to take away the attention, from the group healing, her healing the group. And what she's saying, I'm disagreeing to one part of her, that in my experience, it didn't happen that way. You contact me personally because this is a group healing, and you're taking your attention from you're taking their time away, like whatever, something in her words, she said it very succinctly. And indirectly, what she was saying is that, like these gurus, like Bhakti Marga and all, don't give your, not only surrender your will, but your heart. So there are these people who make you clean, these healers. You join them, they're like gods, right? Uh, she didn't say it in this way. I'm saying it in my own words, what she said. But if you feel, so I felt there was a subliminal message going on against some of the other people who you surrender your will to. And then they make you pujaris or, you know, the these Indian gurus. Subliminal message against the Indian guru system and all this. Now, I'm doing my Islamic against the Islam research. I don't know where it's going to land me. Uh, you see, about America, well, America is very powerful. Even Russian President Putin cannot reach. Even what they can break anyone and everyone. So we're in that martyr mode, right? They won't let anyone. And this Abu Ghraib, what they did, their army, United States Army and the CIA. Oh, it's human rights violations and war crimes against detainees in the Ghraib prison in Iraq. So much. Wikipedia, you can check. Yeah, Wikipedia has given this. You can check Abu Ghraib. How I found this out to be true is one hero from America, which from this book and the YouTube channel from Google Talks. What the author? I keep forgetting the author's name. The effect. What's that? The Lucifer effect. The Lucifer. He's written a book on it. Lucifer Effect by Philip Zimbardo. So when I went to the YouTube channel, Google, it's given his Google Talks. In the Google Talks, the YouTube video has been uploaded or something. Sorry, it's been uploaded on the YouTube. his Google Talks and on this Lucifer effect, what the American Army and CIA did. That's where I found out from. Reconfirming what I had known from before against America, Army, and the CIA. So this, it, so about Islam and all this, uh, I'm not doing this to torture or bring down Muslims or your morale. So you can remain as Husseini, Shaheed, be, in Pakistan also, like the sectarian, the bombing and the Sunnis couldn't do anything either in Pakistan. Those who really care, I know that my mother's friends in Pakistan, Sunnis, they were very open-minded and they would care it would hurt them if it hurt us. And the differences we have in religion were kept aside as personal. We would not discuss but the religion. But we were great. My mother's.
Discuss,
Oops, sorry.
but the religion.
Oops, sorry. Excuse me. We would not discuss the religion, and uh, but only one friend of mine. Now she's an ex-friend. I don't meet her because I don't want my head to be, full of contradictory things. And so one Muslim friend, Pakistani origin from Canada, started to talk like this indirectly about my religion. And then I heard from another friend also that some Pakistanis, they don't like, if they find out that their friend is Shia, then they're going to say something horrible about that. So we have this in Pakistan, a problem between the Muslims. And then, of course, I'm giving in to the enemy, which has already broken Pakistan, Afghanistan, Syria, Damascus, and Iraq, Iran. But I really like Europe, although my personal thing is, very attached to my country, my residence country where I was brought up, and all this. So we were willing to take all that lawlessness, beggars on the street, and the things, um, God forsaken, Pakistan. So you would say that I'm giving the much, to the Western world, which is an enemy, but the people are not. Their government is, their military is, their CIA is, but the people are. Some people are good in America, because even in London, the Britishers wouldn't touch and all this. There was pickpocketing because we were told that, people from Europe of some low economy European countries, cities they come from, and then they do the pickpocketing in London. But the Britishers themselves were quite honest and we could rely on them. And no one would touch us and molest us and all this in London. And I could live alone in London. So, although I could criticize London. It's my favorite city, but I still had started to criticize London. But I think living in Karachi is better. It's better to live in London than in Karachi alone. And with the family also, I think I would tell my mother, but my mother wanted to go back to Karachi. We were living in London in the 70s. So, and my father used to say, to my mother, I told you, don't leave London, stay here. So it wasn't at that time that America is giving us problems or Israel is giving us problems, but it was our own people giving us problems. Even in the 70s, my father used to say, I can't take you family out for Pan Drive. Now look at how these men, they look, and I don't like it. That's what he started to say. And like in the early 70s, when he used to take us out for a Pan Drive, the family would go. Later on, he started to make this excuse or something, because I heard he used to take his second wife out in the 90s. He had officially a second wife now. A personal thing I'm sharing here about my father. So, my experience. Anyways, my father could make excuses. There were families going out in Karachi, and Karachi is a very open minded, although lawlessness is there. But as hypocritical politicians, corrupted head to toe, everything, um, selfishness is there, everything is there. But one thing good about Karachi, living in Karachi, was that we had freedom to speak out. We could shout because the when the lawyers, the policeman isn't listening, we could shout at the top of our voice. So this is where I come from, my background, and also had that venting thing that we could vent out in Pakistan. We could get angry. Of course, the revenge would come if the person is in a high position, from Pakistanis also. And if they want to take revenge, then I know the Pakistanis is very vindictive. Some of them can be. So, but something great about Pakistan was that there was some moving, like the system, and even I don't know how bad it's become in UK, London, with all this now, a lot of mobile and apps downloading, and you can't call a taxi. You have to download the app and book a taxi. So there's no this, and even for the internet, uh, you just call, and then they'll try to fix it up from there, very quick and very good. But it's like the machines, the lady on the machine says, it's the operator, mechanical and everything. But the system has its, uh, bad things. Uh, so this problem is there. The system, very advanced system, and then everything will be on machines. So you can't talk to an operator now and say, please send me a taxi. So the system is terrible now. Some parts of it are terrible, some parts of it are good, not bad. So facilities, convenient, easy, but it has its drawbacks, right? It has its drawbacks. So personal, the world. So this lady, oh my God. So she was saying like not to, like, to those people. I felt like Sri Sri Ravi Shankarji indirectly was telling me that you should not speak about this, about your family, about what happened to you in childhood on social media. or Facebook live stream. So this lady came up, this Australian lady, and I found in one of her short videos uploaded on YouTube or something, maybe short, maybe not. So bad memory. But she said that, you people, you dickheads and all that, who say that this girl should not have said something about her being something raped or something, I don't know, molested, right? I felt she was saying dickhead too, some, okay, like that. Uh, Abusing the, even like in my case, that would be Shri Ravi Shankarji, dickhead, you know. Why are you saying not to say this, that this girl should not have said this? And in her own, in her limited time, I understand. But, that would have been a good healing if she had a little bit. But you see, these healers are just superficial healers, I gather. They don't have an answer. They're prepared for one thing in their mind, and then they don't have an answer. When you say that you give them something, they don't. And then they blame you for saying personal things, and it's a So the thing is that personally, if I've experienced it, it doesn't mean that I'm selfishly trying to take the attention away from the group healing, right? This would be right or wrong. What a So I retracted. I said sorry and all this, but later on, I'm like, this is too much. You're a liar. You're a fake, superficial healer. You suck, right? You want money, don't you? So, this Australian healer, what's her channel name? She talks indirectly against people. I'm going to what's her name? And Cassandra. Wait a minute. Let me check mine. That is awful. You're a fake healer. You're superficial. You just are here for the money. I'm going to expose you. Enough is enough. Okay, it's late here. I cannot raise my voice actually. Oh, so this is terrible. You're giving subliminal messages against Bhakti Marga, against the Indian ashrams, Guru Way, right? What's her name? Okay, I can't find it in this channel. Cassandra. Susan. Susan and Cassandra. This really is so sad. This lady, she says one thing and does another. I just tested her. God made me test her. She's a fake superficial healer. And you know what fake superficial healers do? This is her channel. Please avoid it. I'll show you. So I could be a psycho, but oh, you're going to come and tell me I'm a psycho. I took the attention from the group. You're going to gaslight me. She's a fake healer. This is her, a fake healer. Superficial, artificial nonsense going on. Freedom to create. What else? What nonsense? What kind of a healer are you? Strange psycho nonsense. I tell you, these healers, some of them, psychic people, can be insane. Good riddance to bad rubbish. Jai Gurudev. So, although, yeah, so people against me, oh, I'm going for the Indian Hindus. You want to create more controversy against the Hindu gurus. Uh, God knows what you want to do. So let me tell you that I cannot speak against America. I've already done that on my live streams. I spoke, but Armin Navabi said that I'm obsessed with Americans. Whereas Mark, where's this Lucifer? He's also, no, he's not. I shouldn't be speaking against America because of my case in 1983. And none of these ex Muslims said anything to Armin. They're giving me a subliminal message that everything done is by it's all done for us. We are shaheed. We are going down. America rules. The Western world rules us in this way. And then we have our own problem. Here it is. Philip Zimbardo talks at Google. The Lucifer effect. What does he talk on? Where is this Lucifer effect? What they did, what the American military and CIA did in to the Muslims. So I'm not that naive, right? I'm not that naive. And you want to bring up controversies against me? I know my life. At least I'm trying to, I know where I was Radharani, where Sri Krishna, where my principal was Mirabai. And yes, if the Indians, Hindustan, fake gurus, they're using God in whatever way, in every way you can say, every bad way. I'm trying to find my own healing in my own way. But let me tell you, living in Pakistan, how it was for us. The Punjab, Kashmiri woman, such a deception in Pakistan. This one, she told me since, oh God, we took her on face value. Dr. Farosi Ahmad, these therapists in Pakistan, for the money or just to, she did. I took her to I took my mother to her. Don't control me now. For Khuda ka wasta, for God's sakes. So I'm doing this on Islam, and I'm not naive. Okay, I know where what happens in Pakistan, Bori Bazaar. Professional corruption. Zahur hai, Zaidi nahi hai. You know, I knew that Zaidi as a Shia, that it should be your last name. But Ahmad is there. I never questioned this lady. What a liar. You should clean your own simultaneously, clean your own corner. Then you can, okay, simultaneously, we're supposed to help. We're all over the place. Imam Hussein, Shaheed. One person against, agar, if there are many Lashkar Kuffar, oh, I could bring my country down if I act like that now. Because my father said Imam Ali was quiet for 30 years. So we need that wisdom, true, when to remain quiet and when to go out like Imam Hussein did, and when to remain quiet for 30 years like Imam Ali did. We have such people in Pakistan, but you're going to ignore this. You're going to ignore my case. I've been screaming at the top every time, so many videos, so many live streams. And then when I do against Islam, you're going to tell me that not to do this because you know you're giving that enemy who has give, uh, uh, brought about sectarian wars in Pakistan. And all this India, you know, the bomb blasts and all. I know which enemy doesn't. I also heard many things like the Pakistan, India, no unity. Why? Both of them should sit round table conference for the betterment of their country, their people. When America is saying the safety, American President Bush said, "I, safety for our country and our people." He doesn't care if he goes and finishes Iraq completely. He doesn't care. And he called Iran and Iraq the axis of two evil. What? He never said anything to Saudi Arabia. How many were we are told that were terrorists there? Who were they? Iranis? Iraqis? They were Pakistani and Saudis. 9/11. But it doesn't tell you why do you come after why do you go after Iraq and Iran? You see, 9/11, sorry, mastermind. First of all, let's look at this. Khalid Sheikh Mohammed. Does he look like a Iranian or does he look like an Iraqi to you? Let's see. Khalid Sheikh Mohammed is a Pakistani Islamist militant held by the United States at the Guantanamo Bay. There also, God knows what they've done to him. Detention camp under terrorism related charges. Why Iraq? Why Iran? Huh? And let's see, any Iranians here? They call Iranian terrorists. Citizenship, Pakistan. Pakistani. How many were there? Ramzi Yusuf. Let's check. Okay, according to official records, Muhammad was born on April 14, 1965 or March 1st, 1964 in Balochistan, Pakistan or Kuwait. Did you see America going after Kuwait or Pakistan? His father was Sheikh Muhammad Ali Dostin Baluchi, a lay Deobandi preacher who moved the family to Kuwait from Balochistan in the 1960s. His mother was Halima Muhammad. Okay, it doesn't say where his mother was from, anyways, but so Kuwait and Pakistan before and then Kuwait. Muhammad is the uncle of Ramzi Yusuf, who was convicted on terrorism charges for his part in the 1993 World Trade Center bombing, and Ammar al Baluchi, who is accused of involvement in multiple terror plots. Muhammad is fluent in Baluchi, Urdu, Arabic, and English. According to US federal documents, 1982, he had heard Abdul Rasul Sayyaf's speech in which a call for jihad against the Soviets was declared. At age 16, he joined the Muslim Brotherhood. Following year, he went to Peshawar, Pakistan, the breeding ground for terrorism, we are told. Pakistan. You know, a Pakistani talks to me, and then he's like such a bad way, a rapist. And he's in Ohio. But, oh, he gives me the news that America is going to attack Russia. So, Ukraine, whatever that was. And American girls, he told me, easy. So, why are you? Long time ago, my friend told me, Christian friend in Pakistan, if America is such a prostitute, why are you going there? Why are you buying her? Huh? As if you don't have prostitutes. And what a prostitute you had. That the orphan girls, Pakistani. Where's that Yaya Khan? And now America is this and Israel is this and that. Okay. This so Israel has been the Jews, oh, Rasulullah, really. But we Shias, okay, Jews, but we look at the condition, the context in which the Quran is talking, and Allah is talking about it. But we don't generalize for all the Jews. Bi Fatma Zahra gave her chadar to a Jewish person, man or woman, I don't know. And she went to the wedding. A Jewish man invited her, her kahani, her miracle story. So there are some good things about the Jews in the ayats, also Quran ayats. So we cannot generalize about all the Jews like that. But I've had, if I live in, you see, I had a Jewish neighborhood in London. I could trust the Jews not harming us. There was no sexual assault or you touching, or they would come and, there were two boys, British boys, who would, I would call them, our neighbors, to play with us cricket, my brother and me. They hardly came, and they hardly, I have started to love you, and you are leading me on, you led us on, and, putting these kind of blame on us. We could be their friends, like I could play with them as a girl, and they wouldn't touch me, they wouldn't stare at me, they didn't even step in my house. I mean, I used to wonder, these British shirts, um, boys, my neighbors, even for because their houses were near, so they could go for water drinking to their house, but they wouldn't step in my kitchen. Let's say one boy was thirsty, my neighbor who I called for to play cricket with us in London, in that Jewish neighborhood. And let's say, okay, my house is near, we're playing near my house the cricket. uh, so we had this private place where we could play. And so I could, he wants water. I'm sure he would be standing outside my kitchen. My first experience alone in London, in the hostel, this Pakistani boy, he came and he was saying, oh, there's discrimination, and these Brits, they discriminate against Asians, and someone had come in the apartment and uh, you know, it physically this and that, right? So then what happened is, I'm looking for something, sorry. Oh my God, I can't believe I finished. No, no, I've kept it's there. Sorry, excuse me. So you know what happened? Uh, so I was like, okay, yes, in my childhood, uh, some British boys, from school, yeah, like I was saying, yeah, yeah, but I never heard that they would harm people physically for this racism. Um, so he was telling me, and then what happened is he was coming to my room, knocking. He would knock and then run away, and I knew it was him, and I told him off, and then I stopped talking to him. And no Britisher ever did this in my hostel. So you would say these are just, a few examples. This Pakistani, who was a Britisher born in Britain, perhaps, right? I met him in my first year in hostel. He came later after I joined. And then he was talking against the Brits, how they are racist and all this, and how they treat them, and the Paki and all this. So I said, oh, they never harmed me, but yeah, some schoolboys passing by saying Paki, Paki, like that. But later on, what he did to me as an adult in my hostel in London, he started to come and knock at my door and run because he was on the same floor as I. And then he admitted, I spoke to him, And I said, I know it's you. You did that. So then he admitted. And there was some snow in front, like there was some sleets. He complained because the people outside the hostel, they were playing with, they were cheering and, you know, and he said, oh, well, he had to study for, or they're making a too loud a voice. Like he called the police on them. And the police came. Pakistani origin. So what about this? Those people outside my hostel couldn't make a little bit of noise because it was disturbing this person, and he called the police on them. At least before you call the police on them, go down and say, sir, I'm being disturbed here. Please, can you keep your voices down? And the police came for him. So this, now where am I? So okay, so you're going to say I am not talking about America and I'm doing this Islamic thing. Oh, yeah, here. So if, in Pakistan, there's been lawlessness. I've been staying there. It's my residence country. No Britisher in that very tube station where in the tube where it's crowded at times would touch or anything like that, or smell us, or act funny with us. I didn't have to once complain against the Britishers in London. So here in Pakistan, this lady of Yahya Khan, this mistress or something, I haven't said it, it's a Wikipedia says it. Where's that name? Akrama. What's her name? She was making prostitutes. He was born into a Shia Muslim family. Yahya is said to have had a relationship, okay, maybe Mutta, with Aklim Akhtar, but he was never married. Okay, he had a Mutta. And he was born into a Shia Muslim family, but was non practicing and was known to have indulged in activities prohibited in Islam, such as fornication with prostitutes. Well, there's Mutta. And so I cannot say much about that. And the consumption of alcohol. He also had a brief relationship with Bengal, a woman called Mrs. Shamim, also known as Black Pearl. So this lady, what's her name? Aklim Akhtar. Okay, so I say simultaneously, please come together. We're already being shaheed by the United States. Yaman is gone. Children are, gone, and they're gone. So the children are shaheed of Yaman, infant children starving. and now Ukraine and all this. So I know who's behind all that, but I still blame the Pakistanis also for this. So here is this Aklim Akhtar. General Rani means general's queen, literally. In fact, Rani was Akhtar's alias, Akhtar's alias, and general was the title given to her as a joke by people and news media. Sorry, I'm just news media because of her being included in the inner circle of General Yahya Khan during his military rule between 1969 and 1971 in Pakistan. She was perhaps the most powerful woman in Pakistan for that period due to her close association with the ruling military dictator. She had considerable influence over him and frequently passed on her advice to him. A number of bureaucrats and politicians approached her when they wanted Yaya's attention. Let's see now what this says. Just a minute, please. Aklim Akhtar was born in Gujarat in Punjab, British India. Okay. And what she did here was she did not complete her 10th grade metric examination but came across as intelligent. You know how intelligent some Pakistanis can be. She was never happy in the marriage, so this led to, but Akhtar played well the role of a good wife for many years, bearing 6 children with this husband and never left the house without a burqa, covering herself with the face veil and abaya. She was literally miserable in her marriage, I think. She was married off by her parents to a police officer, Moez G, inhabitant of North Karachi. Sorry, correct me if I'm wrong. Much older than herself, twice her age. She was never happy in that marriage. So, what does never happy means? She was never happy in the marriage. So, according to Islam and her parents, she married and she was never happy. A life lost like that, so many years. She was never happy in that marriage. But Akhtar played well the role of a good wife. She did her duty for many years, bearing 6 children with this husband, and never left the house without a burqa, covering herself with a face veil and abaya. Until one day in 1963, when on holiday in the cool hills of Murray, she became lucky. Akhtar rebelled against her husband and removed her niqab, face veil, in defiance of her husband's wishes and told him she was going to live her own life. So the marriage ended in a divorce in a dramatic way where, excuse me, where Akhtar also took the couple's 6 children with her. She sought her parents' help, but they insisted that they would only help her if she got back with her husband. Muslim culture. In desperation, she started to plan to get close to powerful, rich men. In desperation, you see. You can't blame her. But what happens now? The dramatic collapse of Akhtar's marriage was a turning point in her life. In a May okay, so Akhtar stated, I was determined to beat men at their own game. Islam brought this about for one person. Since my husband was in the police, I had been observing men in positions of power throughout my married life. And I realized that all men in position of power needed a vent. And the vent they require the most is a bedmate. provided through a reliable agency. The higher a man's position, the greater his demand. Thus, Akhtar adopted a motto of Miya ki juti, Miya ke sar, which means to beat men at their own game, and started her own prostitution business where she provided girls to men in need. These are not American men in high position, these are Pakistani men in high position who need a bedmate. She saw. So she was in a desperate situation. She took the opportunity. She availed it. She studied. She was intelligent. We have studied law and we are beaten in Karachi by a woman who didn't even, like those years, didn't even do her complete her metric. Akhtar had not acquired formal skills or qualifications to support an independent career, but she had come to know many rich and powerful men. So if you're Punjabi also, you have a standing and you're very clever and intelligent and you can be helped. But you see, my poor Khoja Sindhis, they're not going to do something like this even in a desperate situation like my mother and I were in. Qualifications to support an independent career, but she had come to know many rich and powerful men through frequenting clubs with her former husband. She met General Yahya Khan via these means, and a relationship between them developed. Due to Akhtar's close association with Yahya Khan and power she exercised, due to the connection. Now, a person like me, no, not even write a letter to my Maulana because I'm too scared. I may not be. How shall I write an email to Maulana Sahib? Assalamu alaikum, like that. And sorry to trouble you, Maulana Sahib. And here she's availing. She lived a Muslim life, dutiful wife. What did she get? She's your own Pakistani. Due to Akhtar's close association, and all this I've read, exercised connection, she was known as a General Rani. She said to have lovingly called Yahya Khan Agha Jani. Akhtar held no official position, but she was given a special treatment due to her connection with Yahya Khan. She denied she was ever a Yahya Khan's mistress and claimed that they were merely friends. But what Wikipedia says, so I don't know. But she revealed in an interview that drinking alcohol and women were Yahya Khan's weaknesses. Even though a Shia, like he could have performed, had so many muttas, used the mutta because of the man's weakness that we are told um, uh, in the Shia, you know, reasoning under mutta, Shia commentaries and Shia, you can see the uh, articles and books on mutta. So Yahya Khan did not avail the Shia mutta thing for his weaknesses. She maintained that she was only playing a role of a woman behind the scenes, meaning providing these women, had always maintained her dignity. Okay, she's gone now, but and saw herself playing the role of a mother figure. This is the mother you want to give us, Pakistanis, to the homeless. So no other way but to make them prostitutes and give the high position politicians, Pakistani, uh, generals, army men, bedmate. Yuck, disgusting. Maintained her dignity and saw herself playing the role of a mother figure. This is how she got herself out of this. Mother figure to the homeless. I was trying to help the beggars outside in Karachi. You have no shame. You still want me to. The superpower. Point to the superpower and Islamophobia. And when I do the Islamic thing, you're going to say, well, you're giving it away to the enemy. So some of our Shias, what a shame. General Yahya was a Shia, not a practicing one. Why not? Okay, if he was a practicing Shia, then something could have, yes. Why wasn't he a practicing Shia? Maybe he had some problems, knowing that maybe, you know, his very good Shia hypocrite mother or grandmother or someone. There's something behind all this that he wasn't practicing. She maintained that she was only playing. Okay, I've read this. Always maintained her dignity. Oh my goodness. To the homeless and needy young girls that she provided to the rich and powerful men. This is the desperate situation in Pakistan at that time, that she started to use these homeless and needy young girls, providing them for the rich and powerful. Whereas, now what do you say? Okay, I'm not with the Christians, but you know what? We have this Darul Sakun in Karachi. Shame on the Pakistanis. Darul Sakun, a center of peace and love. I personally know Sister Gertrude. I've been to Darul Sakun, met her. Muslim parents, mothers, I was told by my teacher, Miss Asteria Desa, like she didn't say Muslim, but she said some mothers used to just, we don't want this defective child. They just used to throw it, throw it, like it. We don't want a defective child, it's a it, like it's a thing. And who used to take them and take care of them? Sister Gertrude of Darul Sakun in Karachi. Founded by a Christian nurse, right? Let me see if Sister Gertrude, it was founded by who it was founded by. Sorry, I'm not that old. It was founded in 1969 by Sister Gertrude Lemons, yeah. Founded by Sister Gertrude. And I met this great sister, Christian nun. Sorry, a Christian nun. Do you see this? So I would rather go to a Christian orphanage, or this was not an orphanage, but it was for the disabled, physically challenged, and even mentally like gone people, gone children there, thrown, given to Sister Gertrude. We don't want her. We don't want this baby. And then we also had, later on I find out, we have the leprosy center founded by Dr. Ruth for Dr. Ruth for in Pakistan. Sorry, I think it's with the D. Sorry, P. What a, I mean, Pakistani Ruth Catherine Martha Fall was a German. Oh my God, she left Germany. You know, if I say anything, then you'll say you are discriminating against Pakistanis. Not all Pakistan, not all five fingers are the same. No, we have such great Pakistanis. I tell you, we can rely on them. Well, I'm sorry, but Eid came much later, right? Abdul Sattar Eid came much later. Okay, 19, a charitable act. I never heard of this, but it says here, with due respect, yeah. So, no, he didn't come much later, but I never heard of him in 1957. I wasn't even born then. And later on, sorry, um, but I would, early life and education. Acha, he started in 1957. I didn't know that. Um, so he helped a lot, this one person, yes. And his foundation and his wife, Bilkis A.D. Trust also. That's really good. Yeah, so we have one in Pakistan who became very famous later on. In 1965, A.D. married Bilkis, a nurse who worked at an A.D. Trust dispensary. They had four children, two daughters and two sons. Bilkis was responsible. We need more of such people in Pakistan, and we don't have it. So you know how many we need? So okay, there's ED, one in Pakistan. Now the foundation is passed away. He was a great humanitarian in Pakistan, and so anyone. I'm just thinking if I'm forgetting anyone else in Pakistan, humanitarian, uh, a Muslim humanitarian. Rehabilitation centers and orphanage and but you know I had okay. Um, there was also another Christian rehabilitation in Pakistan. Very good. The priest was very good. So not that I was on any. I didn't go to him, but I heard the priest was really good. Someone else I knew went to his rehabilitation in Pakistan. Very good. So there's some hair on here trying to. My eyelashes or something are falling off. Oh, so can is there someone out there who truly, really cares for us? Oh God, where are you? Help the world. So now I cannot, I have to help my Shias, whoever from my side. Oh, I think I can help. I will do my side of the thing. But I wouldn't live in Karachi if I was not attached in an unhealthy manner attached to Karachi. Although they're very bad, but still some freedom of speech, like we could say against the politicians, and we could say on the streets, like we could say in the market, like, what kind of people are you? You're disgusting. We could really put them down, dishonest. We could tell the workers there, dishonest people. We could tell the lawyers in their faces, but a little bit careful because the lawyers, this lawyer came, and I don't know who sent him. Sayyid Yusuf said I mean, his father was a judge, not a lawyer, and maybe if I had to go to they would, they told me there. My father had found this person, a lawyer, and I went to him, and there they told me that no good person survives in this law. There was a lawyer. If he survived, you know what he was bringing? Alcohol in his thermos, right? He said, "Look, there was this lawyer and that lawyer. They did not survive. Good people don't survive in law." And this person, if you find him good, he brings alcohol in the thermos. The devil's advocates in Pakistan, all the good people are pushed away, stumbled upon. Like that, we were told. I was told in a law firm, all the bad, you have to be really tough, iron willed to survive in that. So we could openly speak out in Pakistan against our own Pakistanis. But there were some people who can be very vindictive. God knows what they can do indirectly, like what I was saying on the, I was trying to help this lady. She was being bullied on the live chat. Oh, no, no. What's that chat room called? Those, Yahoo chats and Desi chat and all this. So the Pakistani told me, since I saved this, I stood up for this lady. Her name was it was a feminine name, right? So I thought these two men were bullying her, and I uh, tried to support her and stop them. And they said, "We will F you, Pakistani men," on the chat. Said, "We will F you and we will F your mother." Literally, these two Pakistani men. And that's what happened. Through Yusuf Zaidi and Arbab Shah came. So in Pakistan, and I'm Bibi Fatma Zahra son, she's my mother, and all this. In Pakistan, even in the name of Allah and Prophet Muhammad. So my uncle, oh, so here my uncle was saying that, what do you think? They're going to lie taking your father's name, Abdul Hussain? That's also like Abdul. Who cares whether you are Zahra, Fatima Zahra's name or things like that. So they really effed my mother and me, more me than my mother, right? They really, really effed us because the daughter becoming schizophrenic and bad things coming on her. And no one took action. Not even UAE can take action against the Sayyid Yusuf Zaidi or who that person was now. It's in 1999 somewhere where the bullying took place, and I was protecting this girl. So just imagine if you have to be, you know, what happens. Oh yeah, so here, let me change this. This, we are not in stories. This could be a real life incident. Veer Zara. So, this Punjabi lawyer from Lahore, I was saying how great Mr. Gupta was in Holborn College. He really helped me, and such a gentleman. He, this Pakistani turned out, I had a real life, this could happen in Pakistan. And if that Hindu Indian origin man was in India, God knows what they could have done to him. He was my principal in Holborn College, right? And this guy, he got psycho on me over the email, praising an Indian principal in Holborn College later on. And now he had come. So what is Azam and Dry? So they really, you see, these Punjabis, they are. So this guy, he got psycho. So now, people telling me on YouTube, why don't you go and tell this lawyer off? He's a psycho and he's a lawyer. You see this one? Rai Muhammad Saleh Azam is his full name. Managing partner. He could have done to my Indian principal, male, male principal in Holborn College, what happened in Veer Zara to that Indian man. You have criminals. You have covert narcissists. They've managing partner Punjab, Lanat Allah alaik on you people. Punjabi, Pakistanis, Lanat Allah alaik. Shameless. Which Pakistani come here? Cowards. Come here. मैं तुम लोगों का यहाँ इंतजार कर रहा हूँ. अमिताभ बच्चन, दीवार मूवी. Come here. You're going to hit me from the back again? You Pakistanis. Come here. Calling me a psycho schizophrenic? Psycho? Before I went psycho, he's a psycho. You're lawyers. Good thing was that President General Musharraf, what he did. Do you think I want to see Pakistani faces? But one good person here. Even the Christians said that he was really good. President, when he was the president of Pakistan. well, the Americans don't like him or someone says something against him. I also used to say, what is this every time I go to a market? The police come, shut down, security. What is happening in his, I was criticizing his, this is terrible, but a Christian friend of mine said, Zara, he is very good with, he's a very good person. Like in certain things, he's very good. The Christians liked him of Pakistan. So crack down on the judiciary system. He did a crack. Oops. And because of this guy, this other guy I showed you earlier, right? What could have happened? India Pakistan war. What were these people doing in that? What was the name of that? I think President General Pervez Musharraf did a very great thing here. I was there in Pakistan. He shook the courts, the judiciary of Pakistan. And another thing is that this person, what's that when India and Pakistan had a war type? What was that? Kargil. Oh, and this Rai Muhammad Saleh Azam? He also he had given me his visiting card when he was in London. He had a visiting card because he was doing his LLM masters. He had already done some law, LLB honors. So you know what? It was like Air Force card. So he must have known people in the top positions. Cargill. What was it? He must have instigated this. I mean, that's what I suspected later on. Indians were very good with me in London. And what happened here? In the newspaper, when I'd read, I'd say, it doesn't make sense to me. I can't understand. Because you see, any hypocrite who gives me news, thank God I didn't understand it. Not that my comprehension is low. When an Indian explained what happened, when I heard it from some a neutral person, oh, then it made sense to me because Pakistan was trying to save face there in Kargil, that it was all India's fault. So they didn't know how to write in the Dawn newspaper when I read it, right? When it was coming in the newspapers at that time. But whose fault was it? Recently, what happened? And all this you can read. When I was in year 2000, what happened? Pakistan Lieutenant General Shahid Aziz, and then head of ISI analysis wing, has confirmed there was no Mujahideen but only regular Pakistan Army soldiers who took part in the Kargil war. There were no Mujahideen, only taped wireless messages which fooled no one. Our soldiers were made to occupy barren ridges. This is his part. Some writers have speculated that the operation's objective may also have been retaliation for India's Operation Mahdud in 1984 that seized much of Siachen Glacier. 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 According to India's then Army Chief Prakash Malik and many scholars, much of the background planning, including construction of logistical supply routes, had been undertaken much earlier on several occasions during the 1980s and the 1990s. The army had given Pakistani leaders Ziaul and Benazir Bhutto similar proposals for infiltration into the Kargil region, but the plans had been shelved for fear of drawing the nations into all out war. Some analysts believe that the blueprint of attack was reactivated soon after Pervez Musharraf was appointed Chief of Army Staff in 1998. Sharif attributed the plan to Musharraf and just two or three of his cronies, a view shared by some Pakistani writers who have stated that only four generals, including Musharraf, knew of the plan. Musharraf, however, asserted that Sharif had been briefed on the Kargil operation 15 days ahead of Vajpayee's journey to Lahore on 20th Feb. War progress. 1999. Yeah, so that's the time when, um, what happened in 1999? That's the time when this guy uh, turned psycho on me because I just praised that gentleman, Auburn College principal, Indian origin. And because I think this guy had connections, it must have started in 1999. Pakistani terrorists. So this guy, I don't want to see his face again. Mother, what shall I say? Pakistanis are shameless. So I had to, when I got sick and all this, I'm sorry, I never spoke that word, only in childhood when I was trained by my grandmother and my puppy, my father's. But later on, when I was growing up, I stopped saying these bad words, Pakistani abuse, right? I wouldn't even say yar in my talks later on when separated from Miss Desa. When Miss Desai once said, it just came out, I blurted out, Arey yaar, Miss Desai. So she had trained me in that way that I don't even say yar or anything. So I suspect this guy started this Kargil war and his high position, maybe someone he knows in the army, Pakistani army, like his Rustamas or something like this, his card had, visiting card. So again, going to Azam and Rai. You see, the Pakistanis, this guy, I suspect he started the Kargil war and inciting it. This is the guy who started the Kargil war. I suspect. And he's in the Punjab Bar Council, lower courts 2000 Punjab Bar Council. See, these people have, if Aklim Akhtar could get to such a high place, and these people are very intelligent, clever, cunning people. Psychos हैं, psychos Pakistanis. Lawyer psychos हैं, ऐसे, इसके जैसे हैं कुछ. और वही काफ़ी हैं, there are enough. What a shameless guy. I had told him, like, you are like my brother, come to my house in Karachi. You can stay in my house, uh, and all this. Just because I praised an Indian principal in Holborn College over the email, he turned psycho on me, gaslighting and all this. Please be India raw agents, help me out. Okay. And now, so much against India, Tunis, Gulzar Elia, Haris Sultan, they call them Tunis, Indian Tunis, and rape happening in India, which was like out of my mind. Because they were saying the rape, when I was in Karachi, the percentage of rape happening in Pakistan was a lot. And then, a guy told me, a man, shopkeeper, okay, please be careful who you talk to and all this here in Karachi. So I said, I thought this guy knew you. The way he came in and said hello, hi, and so talkative and, friendly. And then he told me he had a Bastaki um, wife who died of cancer. So, my principal is Bastaki, or she has passed away, I don't know, or they're hiding this from me. So, in the shop, I thought, so this guy started to talk to me, and I thought he knew the shopkeeper, that he comes here every day or something. He's a friend of the shopkeeper. When this guy left, and he gave me his number, mobile number, and all this. I said, I have this case. Can I contact you? Because you say you have some. This time I started to, in my madness, start to say that I need a favor from you. If you're in Pakistan TV or radio, or as he had told me. So I said, I need your help for human rights, like about my case and all this, like what I'm doing here. So that was a start to where I needed. Before, I think Facebook had not yet come out. And so where am I going now? On a Google search all the time. Yeah. Uh, so I suspect, and yeah, I suspect these Pakistanis. And we were told at that time that even in London, like if someone kept a bag outside, which you had any suspicions, unattended bag or something, you're supposed to call the police immediately. There was a lot of this terrorism, scare and fear, and rampant around the world, even in London. And shoot at sight if some person doesn't stop. So, but you can say, now, why am I saying this? And because bringing that verse from Surah Azab, right? No, but they would say that stop. If they don't stop, and if they're running, then you can shoot the person in the leg or somewhere. But it could, they could die. The police officer can shoot them in the leg. But if an accident happens, they're not responsible if they just shoot you and you die. So you're going to say, oh, that Quran verse you give us, the Prophet Muhammad against the deceased hypocrites, uh, false rumor mongers, just wherever you find them, seize them and kill them. Accursed. So you're going to tell me that I don't agree to that. No hearing, nothing, but just wherever you find them, seize them and kill them. And then you agree to this, that in London now the police officers, we are told, like like they never carried a gun, but this time they were told to carry a gun. They had batons, but I never saw the bobbies and the police officers in London carrying a gun. Not like America. But shoot, if I heard, I'm not sure how, like they could, but if you get killed, then sorry, you know, but don't run. When the police officer tries to stop you, calls out to you, stop, uh, and if they run, they can shoot them. I mean, terrorism was like this. It was uh, consuming the world somehow. So I've just spoken my suspicions, and also the Shias were being attacked in Pakistan, and some of them were being persecuted, and there was an anti-terrorism made. So a Shia lady or some, I heard a news that she took, because a Sunni Muslim was harassing her, a terrorist type extremist. They were harassing her, so she had to go to the anti-terrorist. My father even gave me in Pakistan the office's number, anti-terrorist office number in Pakistan. So I thought maybe, these people, maybe someone is doing this because my father uh, recites ziyarat in in places during Muharram. So Sayyid Yusuf Zaidi told me that the Sipai Sahiba group in Pakistan, they've got a list of Shias, high, very in high positions and all, and they want to kill them. The Sipai Sahiba group in Pakistan. So President General Pervez Musharraf also put a crackdown on these terrorist groups. He recognized them and he tried to, I think he banned them. Oh, so that was good. No one would do that. Only President General Pervez Musharraf did that, banning these groups, Lashkar-e-Tayyiba and all these, the rest, other ones coming later against Shias, right? So then in Pakistan, at least now during the presidency of General Pervez Musharraf, they had this anti-terrorist organization office. And if someone leaves an unattended bag, or if you become suspicious of anyone doing anything, please report it quickly to the police, or to this, not to the police, no, because the police in Pakistan, they take uh, bribes and all that, but to this anti-terrorist organization to save lives. So this is why many people might come here and say something like, "Oh, she doesn't say anything to America. She doesn't say anything to against Hindustan, what they're doing to the Muslims there." And by the way, even if our religion is false now, you have found out. Keep your mouth shut just for the heck of, the enemy. America. What they've done to the Muslim, killing. They tell you that it's uh, Assad killing in Syria, but you know who is behind all that. My goodness. So keep your mouth shut. Don't say anything. It's Islamophobia, and you're giving what could I be giving America? Now what else can they do? They're coming after us anyways, whether you're a Muslim or not a Muslim. So I superpower, terrorist number one, and terrorist number two, Pakistan. So breeding ground for terrorism. I was told in Pakistan, this is a breeding ground by the Pakistanis. Some Pakistanis were saying Pakistan is a breeding ground for terrorists. So, where are you Muslims? Where are you Pakistanis? And अपनी country को, like, they've sucked the greenery out, the natural resources. खा पी के खत्म, सत्यानाश कर दिया, बर्बाद कर दिया पाकिस्तान को. अपनी मदर कंट्री लैंड को रेप किया है. Raped their motherland. And so I had to get up. Like, I saw that, you know, in London also, shoot to kill. So you're given a warning at least, right, in this terrorism times when it was very, very rampant. Bomb blasts and all this. In July, which year? 7, or what was it, 7/11 in London. So they had to now. So I was like, my condition was like, come out. Like, I'll be, standing outside my house telling everyone, giving flyers in Pakistan, in Karachi. Like, this is my case, and whoever can help, neighbors come, and wherever my flyers can go. Maybe if my story doesn't reach the Dawn newspaper, I could, and write very personal things there, and print it out and go door to door, give flyers or something. But I couldn't even get up. Every time I wanted to get up and go to the court, Sindh court, to find Yusuf Zaid's father, I would become so heavy. What's happening to me? I can't move. So this is uh, why, and how my life, and why I had to take this action, bringing out personal things, dying all over the world. I feel the so then all this treachery and false healers coming. Like, you have to test them. You have to see if they're going to. It's a good thing that I became bold enough, and I put a Actually, I was a little bit reluctant recently. So now I have this. I know that there's this gaslighter, a superficial healer in Australia, and she must be doing it for the money or something. She's a gaslighter. You have to find out through experience, right? So sometimes you have to become bold. In Pakistan, listening to the Pakistani news, one sided, or if someone tells me that this person is a fake healer, I'm not going to believe in that. Because, the way my mother and Miss Tissa had brought me up, I knew Miss Tissa at the age of 9 when I joined Karachi American School. So, and by the way, there were, these Americans are so fearful that they were spreading the false rumor, I think, at that time against Iran, that Iran is going to bomb us, Karachi, that even Karachi American School will be bombed because of what Khomeini did, maybe. So, uh, yeah, taking their hostages and taking their people, Americans, as hostages. So after that, my brother was in Karachi American School, and every time they would have this drill, you know, leave the building. Students would, in Karachi, like, Iran is going to bomb Karachi American School. Only Karachi American School. No other school in Pakistan, the local schools or British schools, had these drills. So I knew that Iran is not going to bomb Karachi American School. And what the propaganda against Iran that the Americans are spreading. So I'm not that naive, but I don't agree to you, Pakistani majority, and what my life became. And for the welfare of those poor people in Pakistan who are kuchlofied, trampled upon, and these big, big people come up, covert narcissists, tyrants, they make their way up. If I mean, of course, you see, that day I was saying we are just followers listening to this person. Okay, what shall I do now? Shall I take, let me see if I can now take permission from the world. What shall I do, world? You know, but the person going through it knows. The Jiddu Krishnamurti was right. You are followers. You are second-hand followers. Oh, hello, my subscribers. You don't know my case, but you know what I've been through. But I wanted to save Pakistan and I couldn't. What shall I do now? Shall I talk about my personal issues here? Or should I not talk about my personal issues? Should I say I suspect this person or not? You keep waiting, right? You are not, and then you go to Haris Sultan. You've got all that against India. So, okay, the Muslims in India who are suppressed and they'll be discriminated against if they say anything. There's a fear of that. So, Haris Sultan, why don't you send the whole thing to the United Nations? You have all these YouTube, you have these. And so they say international. Now, some Pakistani man I was talking to on the Facebook Messenger, I said, I'll come. You should be fined for this, the way you came here. And not only that, I should delete you from Facebook, but someone should pursue you and fine you for what you are doing here with me in the messenger box, right? So he said, who are you going to complain to? The international mafia? No, no, I'm not complaining to the Abu Ghraib type a military army, American army, or this American CIA. But maybe Interpol can do something. Maybe we can form so without asking my country people, maybe we can form you know, कतरा कतरा कहते हैं. In Urdu, they say कतरा कतरा दरिया बनता है. So as we are being trampled up on, there's an emergency worldwide for the Muslims who really, those Yemeni Muslims, children starving to death. And who are we giving that money to? Even Rion said, you know, that charity that you are giving online is not going, much of it is not, very little is going to Yemen, to such areas. Why? So we need to get a brainstorm, and someone has to get up. So I got up, I'm out. And you'll say this or whatever you'll say, I'm not a follower. I realized I had made a mistake asking people what I should do here. And I said, Zahra, Jiddu Krishnamurti was right. You know, you are a follower. You don't want to, you'll never save the world by asking people. Because you see, one person comes, gives good advice, a few good advices, in the end says, you're obsessed with the black magic. That's so discouraging. Another healer in Australia tries to shut you down, with gaslighting, sight, like I felt it. Very, very cunning, very clever way. And not to like personal, don't speak, it won't help the group because I'm here to do group healing. But I disagree with her. If you help one person, you could be saving many lives. And it's not like the group is going to miss out on the healing. You can delay it a little bit. When you can answer hi and hello in the middle of your conversation talk, and you haven't even reached the healing part. You see, she hadn't reached the healing part. Susan Ashley. So, this also. You see, policing and knowing first-hand knowledge that now this person is a gaslighter, and whatever she may say or whatever you may say against me. So let me see, little cooperation, uh, you know, and all this. I'm not going to rely on the majority of people anymore. I take what I took in desperation. And this Pakistani who over the internet years back said, F your mother, I will F your mother, I will F you. And you know what they did? I could have torn my clothes and run out, right? This is the energy they gave me. Just because they were bullying two of them were bullying a female online. And I was there in the chat room and I stopped them or tried to. I would say don't ignore these people. Don't delete them. Don't block them. Find out. Like if they have a YouTube now we have YouTube. At that time, we didn't even have Facebook. Pursue them. Lawyers. What have lawyers given us in Pakistan? That there had to be a crackdown on lawyers, on the judiciary, on the Chief Justice, against the Chief Justice of Pakistan. Everything goes on. Bribery. Judges take bribes. So you Pakistani who said long time ago, cowards. They may have gotten my mother killed through a distance. You know what they did to us? We used to lose our minds. And this Pakistani man who came on Facebook, still, although he's apologized and said, I don't remember, what did I do? You're my sister. I still see his face coming on me and lolling of his tongue and biting of his lips. And, here, these images come in my vision. Like he's moving towards me, like it's been thrown at me, his face. So I don't think it's schizophrenia done like that I had it. No, I didn't have schizophrenia, but that this is a black magic thing. In Pakistan, anything and everything goes. They can even rape the motherland to no end. So, rightfully so, motherfuckers, I call them. We used to get these calls later on, even when we were not well. They would disturb us, crank calls, and So once I said, "You motherfuckers, stop it." Before that, I said, "For the sake of Allah, for the sake of Prophet Muhammad." They wouldn't listen. I said, "You motherfuckers." What can? So it came out again. The abuse came out. I called them motherfuckers. But it's does it make a difference? No, they're as shameless as ever, these Pakistanis. At least America doesn't kill their own people, right? Pakistanis kill their own people. So at least that number one terrorist in the world doesn't kill their own people. But it might do later when they have told me, I read somewhere, population due to population increase and all this, they might kill their own people. But Pakistan kill their own killed their own people. They kill their own people. So this okay. There's this what in the schools and all shooting going on that has went on in the American schools in America. But I think Pakistanis are worse than Americans. Much, 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 much worse than Americans. So yeah, so I've reached a conclusion today, not to convince you, because I don't need followers, and I'm not also going to follow people like that. I'll subscribe to some to learn, get some information and all this. This doesn't mean that I agree to everything you say just because I subscribe to you. And I'm not going to trust you anymore. I should be streetwise, worldwise to trust you people. And those of you who really don't help, I have to start a new world. Take the step, go the distance. And if you're going to criticize me, don't waste your breath. You'll be wasting your breath. Okay? I'll continue later. Thank you. And to those who are really suffering, my heart goes out for you also, as I know what is to suffer, waiting for God to come and help us. I don't know what to say to you. I have no words for godless I stand. Whitney Houston's song, I remember. So, Miracle, the song, I wonder if I could have spared you pain. And godless we stand. But she says, godless I stand, or something like this. And no one to hear our cries. Big, big leaders. We can't do anything in Yemen to save those children from starving. Okay, thank you, world. Thank you so much. I hope I'm not saying this. I'm saying to that oppressed people of the world.